What if the love story that everyone thought was over suddenly came back to life? Imagine the shock, the terrors, and the overwhelming joy when a character we thought was gone forever returns to the place and the people who loved him the most. That's exactly the kind of emotional storm season 19 of Heartland brings, as Ty and Amy finally reunite in a way fans never dared to dream possible. For years, Heartland has been more than just a television show. It has been a place of comfort, warmth, and family for millions of viewers across the world. The story of Amy Fleming and her journey through love, loss, and healing has touched hearts like few shows ever have. And at the very center of that story was her connection with Ty Borden. Their love was never easy, but it was pure. It carried the kind of sincerity that audiences could believe in, the kind of partnership that felt like it could last forever. When Ty's story took a heartbreaking turn, leaving Amy and their family to move forward without him, fans were left shattered. Many believed the magic of Heartland could never be the same. That season 19 has changed everything. The idea of Ty returning was something viewers only whispered about in fan forums or speculated in theories online. Nobody thought it could truly happen. And yet, the show has taken one of its boldest steps ever by reuniting Amy and Ty in a way that feels both unexpected and deeply emotional. This moment has not only reignited the beating heart of Heartland, but has also given fans a chance to feel something they have been missing for so long: hope. To understand the weight of this reunion, we need to go back to the beginning of Amy's journey after Ty's absence. From the moment he left, Amy's life was thrown into an ocean of grief and adjustment. She had to learn how to raise their daughter without him, how to keep the ranch alive without his steady support, and most importantly, how to rediscover herself as a woman standing on her own 2 feet. Every episode since that loss has been a slow rebuilding process, one where Amy grew stronger, wiser, but also carried an unshakable loneliness inside her heart. No matter how much she smiled or poured herself into her work with the horses, viewers could always sense the empty space Ty once filled. The family around her, Jack, Lou, and the rest did everything they could to hold her up. They became her safety net, but even they knew they could not replace what Ty meant. Jack, in particular, often carried the quiet sorrow of watching Amy navigate a life that was never meant to be lived alone. His words of advice and his silent strength were always there, but they could never fully heal the wound. Lou tried to encourage Amy to look forward, to build new chapters, yet even she understood that Amy's bond with Ty was something beyond comparison. This is why the reunion hits so hard. It is not just another plot twist. It is the emotional climax of years of longing and unresolved pain. When Ty appears again, it is not just Amy who is brought back to life. It is the entire world of Heartland. It's as if the ranch itself breathes again, as if the horses, the fields, and the mountains all know that something sacred has been restored. And for the fans watching, this is the moment they have been waiting for, even if they didn't believe it could happen. The first section of this story is about setting the emotional stage, Amy's journey through heartbreak, the family's attempt to keep her whole, and the quiet, enduring love that kept Ty present even in his absence. His return is not just about rekindling a romance, it is about healing years of pain and giving fans the most unforgettable reunion in the show's history. To truly understand why Ty and Amy's reunion in season 19 carries so much weight, we need to take a deeper look at the journey that brought them here. For longtime fans of Heartland, Ty was never just another character. He represented growth, resilience, and the kind of love story that slowly blossomed from friendship into something unbreakable. From the first time Amy and Ty crossed paths, audiences could see that they balanced each other in ways neither of them realized at the time. Amy was gentle, empathetic, and deeply connected to animals and people alike, while Ty brought a strength forged from his troubled past, a protective spirit, and a quiet vulnerability that only Amy could truly see. When Ty left the story, it was as if a piece of Heartland's soul had been taken away. The show remained beautiful, heartfelt, and rich with emotion, but fans could feel the absence in every storyline. For Amy, the impact was even more powerful. She had lost not only her partner in love, but also her partner in life's work. The one person who shared her passion for the ranch, the horses, and the quiet dream of raising a family in the wide open spaces of Alberta. Losing Ty wasn't just about heartbreak. It was about the collapse of an entire future that Amy had once been building. Every season after his departure showed Amy's resilience, but it also quietly revealed her loneliness. Yes, she smiled. Yes, she kept moving forward, working with horses, raising her daughter, and supporting her family. But behind all of it was a silence, a stillness that spoke louder than words ever could. In moments where she paused by the barn or stood looking across the fields, viewers could almost see her remembering Ty, his laugh, his advice, his quiet presence at her side. The grief was never loud, it was steady, constant, and always there. Like a shadow in the sunlight. And then there was Lyndy, their daughter. Raising her without Ty brought Amy both joy and sorrow. Joy because Lyndy was a living reminder of the love she and Ty had shared. Sorrow because every milestone, every birthday, every riding lesson, every new adventure was one Ty never got to see. Amy's strength as a mother became one of the most inspiring parts of her journey, but the pain of knowing Ty should have been there always lingered in her eyes. The family, too, carried the weight of Ty's absence. Jack, who had always treated Ty like a son, struggled silently with the loss. Jack is a man who rarely shows his deepest emotions, but fans could sense his pain in the way he looked after Amy, or in the rare moments where he allowed himself to speak about Ty. Lou, ever the protector of her sister, encouraged Amy to keep looking ahead, to stay strong for Lyndy. But even she admitted that there was no replacing Ty. Georgie and the others in the Heartland circle also felt the loss. It was as if a missing piece of their family puzzle could never be filled. This emotional backdrop made fans believe that Ty was truly gone forever. Writers leaned heavily into the themes of healing, moving on, and finding strength in loss. Viewers admired Amy for her courage, but many also admitted that they couldn't help but hoped just a little that one day Ty would somehow return. Online forums filled with theories. Could he make a surprise reappearance? Was there a storyline twist coming that the producers had kept hidden? Most dismissed these ideas as wishful thinking, but the longing never disappeared. That's why season 19 feels so monumental. Ty's reunion with Amy is not just a sudden event dropped into the story. It is the emotional payoff of years of grief, growth, and unspoken hope. It's the answer to the lingering question fans have carried for so long. What if Ty came back? The show's writers didn't just bring him back for shock value. They used his return to honor everything Amy, Lyndy, and the entire family had endured since he was gone. Before this reunion, Heartland had spent years teaching audiences about resilience and strength. Now, with Ty's return, it is teaching them something even deeper. That love, even when tested by time and loss, has the power to endure. And that's what makes the setup so vital. By watching Amy's pain, her growth, and her struggle, fans can fully appreciate the miracle of this reunion. It's not just another story arc, it's the emotional heartbeat of season 19. It begins quietly, almost too quietly, like the calm before a storm. The ranch is still, the golden light of the evening sun spreading across the open fields, painting everything in warm shades of orange and gold. Amy is outside, brushing down one of the horses, her movements steady and familiar. She looks calm on the outside, but the weight she carries inside is always there. She pauses for a moment, resting, her hand gently on the horse's neck, and lets her eyes wander toward the horizon. It is in that silence, in that ordinary moment, that everything changes. At first, she notices only the crunch of footsteps on gravel, faint but unmistakable. Amy doesn't turn right away. On the ranch, footsteps are common. Jack, Lou, or even a ranch hand could be coming her way. But then, something deep inside her stirs. It's a sound she knows, a rhythm she has not heard in years but could never forget. Slowly, carefully, she turns her head, and her eyes lock onto a figure walking toward her from the distance. Asterisk, for a heartbeat, she doesn't move. She doesn't even breathe. Her mind refuses to believe what her heart instantly knows. It's him. Ty, asterisk, he is standing there, framed against the fading sunlight, looking almost like a memory brought to life. His shoulders are strong, his eyes soft but filled with the same depth that once stole her heart. Time has passed, yes, but the man she loved, the man she thought she lost forever is right there. And in that instant, the world around her disappears. The horses, the barn, the fields, everything fades into silence. There is only Amy and Ty. He is standing there, framed against the fading sunlight, looking almost like a memory brought to life. His shoulders are strong, his eyes soft but filled with the same depth that once stole her heart. Time has passed, yes, but the man she loved, the man she thought she lost forever is right there. And in that instant, the world around her disappears. The horses, the barn, the fields, everything fades into silence. There is only Amy and Ty. Asterisk, Amy's hands begin to tremble. Her breath catches in her chest, and her eyes fill with tears before she can stop them. She takes one step forward, then another, her body moving before her mind can process what's happening. Ty, her voice is barely more than a whisper, but it carries all the weight of years of longing, grief, and hope. Asterisk, and then he answers. His voice, steady but emotional, breaks the silence. It's me, Amy. Asterisk, the moment shatters her. Tears spill down her cheeks as she rushes toward him, her steps quickening with every heartbeat until she finally closes the distance. When she throws herself into his arms, it's as if the years of pain and loneliness crumble in an instant. Ty holds her tightly, as though letting go would risk losing her all over again. For a long, breathless moment, they simply cling to each other, the weight of the reunion too powerful for words. Asterisk, this is not just a hug. It is healing. It is forgiveness. It is love rediscovered. Every second they hold each other is a second. That rewrites the years of separation, filling in the silence with warmth and belonging. Asterisk, when they finally pull back, just enough to look into each other's eyes, Amy sees everything she has missed. The gentleness, the strength, the promise of a future she thought was gone. I thought I'd lost you, she says through her tears, her voice breaking with both pain and relief. Ty gently brushes a strand of hair from her face, his eyes never leaving hers. You never lost me, he replies softly. I've always been here, Amy. Always. Asterisk, it is in this exchange, in this raw and intimate reunion, that the symbolism of their love becomes undeniable. Ty's return is not just physical, it is emotional, spiritual, and symbolic of the show's greatest theme, that love endures. Asterisk, the scene doesn't need grand gestures or dramatic music. The quiet intimacy is enough. The air around them seems lighter, the world brighter, as if the ranch itself recognizes what has just been restored. For Amy, the empty space she has carried inside her heart finally feels whole again. For Ty, the weight of separation finally lifts, replaced by the comfort of home. Asterisk, and for the audience watching, this moment is nothing short of breathtaking. It is the payoff of years of waiting, hoping, and wishing. It is the miracle fans dared not expect but secretly longed for. And it is the kind of reunion that makes Heartland what it truly is, a story about love, family, and the unbreakable ties that bind us. Asterisk, this reunion doesn't just belong to Amy and Ty, it belongs to every character who has missed him, and to every fan who has carried his memory. It is not only a scene in season 19, it is the heart of the season itself. The moment Amy and Ty finally reunite is powerful on its own, but what makes it even more emotional is the ripple effect it creates throughout the Heartland family. The ranch has always been more than a backdrop. It has been a living, breathing home where every member carries their own scars, their own stories, and their own unshakable love for one another. So when Ty returns, it isn't just Amy whose life is changed forever. It is everyone. Jack is the first to see them. He had been coming out of the barn, his hat tipped down, ready to finish up the evening chores. But when he notices Amy frozen in place, staring at the figure in the distance, he senses something is different. Jack knows Amy better than anyone. He has seen her at her highest moments of joy and her lowest moments of despair. When he follows her gaze and his eyes fall on Ty, time seems to stop for him as well. For years, Jack carried the quiet sorrow of losing Ty. He never said much. Jack rarely does, but viewers could always see the grief in the way he looked at Amy, in the way he tried to fill the empty space left behind. To Jack, Ty was not just Amy's husband. He was the son Jack never had. Their bond had been built slowly through hard work, arguments, respect, and trust. And now, standing only a few steps away, Ty is back. Jack doesn't rush forward. He doesn't cry out. Instead, he removes his hat, holding it to his chest, his eyes glistening with tears he rarely lets anyone see. The weight of the moment is too much for words. Amy and Ty are still clinging to each other, and Jack simply stands there, silent and awestruck, as though he's witnessing a miracle. Lou is next. She comes outside, expecting to find Amy finishing up the horses, but instead she's met with a sight that leaves her breathless. For a moment, she thinks her eyes are playing tricks on her. She blinks, shakes her head, even takes a hesitant step back. But no, it's real. Ty is there. The man who had been at the center of so much of their family's story, the man whose absence left a wound no one could fully close, is standing in front of her. Lou's reaction is different from Jack's. She covers her mouth with her hands, her eyes instantly filling with tears, and a sob escapes before she can hold it back. All the years of watching her sister carry the burden alone, all the time she tried to be strong for Amy, it all floods to the surface. She rushes forward, unable to stop herself, and throws her arms around both Amy and Ty. It's messy, it's tearful, but it's real. For Lou, this reunion is not just about Amy finding her lost love, it's about their family finally being whole again. And then comes Lyndy, the little girl who never truly got to know her father, who grew up with stories and pictures instead of his presence, suddenly finds herself standing face to face with him. At first, she hesitates. Children have a way of sensing when something is too big to fully understand. She looks up at Amy, her wide eyes searching for confirmation. Amy kneels down, still holding Ty's hand tightly, and whispers, "It's him, sweetheart." "It's Daddy." The look on Lyndy's face at that moment is pure innocence and wonder. She takes a few cautious steps, then suddenly breaks into a run, her small arms flinging around Ty's waist. Ty drops to his knees, pulling her into his embrace, his own tears finally falling freely. He strokes her hair, whispering words she's never heard from him before. "I've missed you so much." For Lyndy, the stories of her father have finally come to life. For Ty, the years he thought he had lost are suddenly returned in the most beautiful way. The rest of the family soon gathers Georgie, Tim, and others connected to the Heartland circle. Each reaction is layered with disbelief, joy, and overwhelming relief. Tim, who once doubted Ty in the early years but came to respect him as a man, struggles to hide his emotions. His voice cracks when he finally speaks. "Welcome home, son." Georgie, who always looked up to Ty as a mentor and protector, is speechless. She simply hugs him tightly, as if to prove to herself that he's real. The emotional weight of this reunion doesn't just sit with one character, it spreads through every person connected to the ranch. For years, they have all lived under the shadow of loss, learning to cope, to endure, and to carry on. Ty's return doesn't erase that pain, but it transforms it. It turns grief into joy, absence into presence, and brokenness into healing. And the ranch itself seems to respond. The air feels lighter. The sounds of the horses carry a different energy. The mountains in the distance, the open skies above it. As if all of Heartland breathes a collective sigh of relief, the family is together again. The circle that had been broken is finally whole. Asterisk, this is the moment fans never thought they would see. The moment that transforms Season 19 from another chapter in the saga to a defining turning point. The family's response isn't just emotional, it is transformative. It reminds viewers of the show's core truth, that no matter the distance, no matter the time, love has the power to bring us back home. For fans who have followed Heartland from the very beginning, Ty and Amy's reunion is more than just another scene in a television series. It is a deeply personal experience. This story has never simply been about horses, ranch life, or even romance. At its heart, Heartland has always been about family, resilience, and the healing power of love. When Ty walked back into Amy's life in Season 19, it wasn't only a reunion for the characters on screen. It was a reunion for the millions of viewers who have carried his memory in their hearts for years. Asterisk, what makes this moment so powerful is that it speaks to something universal. Everyone knows what it means to lose someone, whether through distance, time, or heartbreak. Everyone knows the ache of longing for one more moment, one more word, one more chance to feel whole again. Ty and Amy's story is fictional, but the emotions it stirs are real. That's why audiences around the world feel as if they're standing there on the ranch, watching Amy fall into Ty's arms, tears in their own eyes as if it's happening to them. Asterisk, the family's emotional response deepens this connection. Viewers have grown up with these characters, shared in their struggles, celebrated their victories, and grieved their losses. When Jack removes his hat in silent awe, fans remember the countless times he offered Amy quiet wisdom and strength. When Lou sobs and embraces Ty, audiences feel the release of years of bottled-up sorrow. And when little Lyndy throws her arms around her father, the moment strikes at the purest, most. This reunion also redefines the narrative of Season 19. Instead of focusing solely on survival, healing, and moving forward, it now embraces the idea of restoration, of second chances, of love finding its way home. For years, Amy carried the heavy theme of resilience, showing viewers how to live after loss, how to endure when the heart feels broken beyond repair. Now, with Ty's return, the message has shifted. It reminds us that even when we think a chapter has ended, sometimes the story still has more to give. Hope is never truly gone. Asterisk, for fans, this resonates deeply. It becomes more than entertainment, it becomes a reflection of life itself. Many viewers have written about how Heartland helped them through personal grief, heartbreak, or family struggles. Seeing Ty and Amy together again validates those emotions. It tells fans, your pain is understood, your love is seen, and even in the hardest times, healing is possible. Asterisk, but perhaps the most moving part of this reunion is its simplicity. There are no dramatic speeches, no over-the-top declarations. Just a man returning home, a woman who never stopped loving him, and a family who thought they had lost him forever. That simplicity is what makes it so profound, because in the end, life's most powerful moments are often the quietest: the touch of a hand, the sound of a familiar voice, the embrace of someone you thought was gone. As Season 19 unfolds, fans will naturally begin to wonder, what's next for Amy and Ty? How will their reunion shape the future of the ranch, their family, and their dreams together? The beauty of this storyline is that it doesn't need to rush toward answers. The reunion itself is the reward, the long-awaited gift, everything that comes after is simply an extension of that love. Asterisk, and this is where the audience becomes part of the story. Heartland has always thrived because of its fans, the people who believed in its message, who cried with its characters, who held onto its hope. Ty and Amy's reunion is not just the writers giving something back to the viewers. It's a shared celebration. It's a reminder that this show belongs to everyone who has ever tuned in and felt at home in its world. Asterisk, so as the dust settles on this monumental moment, the final takeaway is clear. Ty and Amy's reunion is more than just a plot twist. It is a love letter to the characters, to the fans, and to the very heart of what Heartland stands for. It's about family, forgiveness, resilience, and above all, the belief that no matter how much time has passed, true love always finds its way back. Asterisk for fans watching across the globe, the message is both simple and unforgettable. Hold on to hope, cherish your loved ones, and believe in second chances. Because sometimes, even when we least expect it, life gives us the miracle we thought we had lost forever. Asterisk and so, Season 19 of Heartland will forever be remembered as the season of reunion, of restoration, and of love reborn. A season where the impossible became possible, where a family was made whole again, and where fans were reminded why they fell in love with this story in the first place. Asterisk in the end, Ty and Amy's reunion is not just a storyline, it is a promise fulfilled. It is a moment that has redefined Heartland, reminding us all why this series continues to touch lives after nearly 2 decades on air. For Amy, it is the restoration of the love she never truly lost. For Ty, it is the return to the family and the home that shaped him. And for the Heartland family as a whole, it is proof that no matter how deep the loss, love can always bring healing. Asterisk for the fans, this reunion carries a message that lingers far beyond the screen. Never give up on hope. Life is full of twists we never expect. And sometimes, just when we think the story is over, we discover it has only just begun. That is what makes this season so unforgettable. Asterisk. But now the question belongs to you, the audience. What does Ty and Amy's reunion mean to you? Did it bring you joy, tears, or perhaps a sense of closure you never thought possible? How do you see their story moving forward in Season 19 and beyond? Asterisk, share your thoughts, your theories, and your feelings in the comments below. Heartland has always been more than a show. It is a community, a family of fans who find comfort in its stories, and your voice is part of that family. Asterisk. So as we look toward the future of Heartland, one thing is clear. Ty and Amy's love has reminded us all of the power of second chances, the beauty of family, and the truth that no matter the distance, love will always find its way home. Asterisk.